Rastafari. Yes,
How's it going, Wormhole? You guys can make a little bit more noise. How is it going, Wormhole? Alrighty. I like this. You guys are into it. Did you guys all not get downtown today because of the marathon? Anybody? I'm glad you made it here.
To test my audience, I love doing this. I'm going to test you guys with a joke. So, I passed a sign recently that said youth boxing. Okay, good job. All right. So far, youth boxing. I passed a sign recently that said youth boxing. It made me go into a gym. This gym said youth boxing. But it was bullshit. Because they didn't let me fight any children. I'm arguing with the manager about the sign. I'm like, sir, it clearly states youth boxing. Now bring me out a black 8-year-old. Because I like a challenge. A lot of you guys like fighting children. Good. Alright, I'm going to give you guys like some of the top class material. So I think a lot about the zombie apocalypse. A lot about it. And about, honestly, how I would survive the zombie apocalypse. And I finally figured it out. It's probably going to be prostitution. A lot of you guys are like, hold on. Like, I think I'll survive it because of prostitution. Like, in the zombie apocalypse, you need what? Water, food, shelter. I can't get any of those things.
But I know there's someone who already can. Really quick, show of hands. How many people in here have held a gun?
Woo! How many people in here have held a dick?
Woo!
You go with what you know. I don't have to be like a small Asian kid. I don't have to be good with maths. Like my children, once I survive, they're gonna write stories about me. How did your granddad survive the zombie apocalypse? Well, easy. He was fast, smart, and he had the softest hands in Southeast Georgia. And I do, if anybody needs to confirm later. So I can't wait until they invent a review system for drugs.
Like, do you guys use review systems? Yelp, Amazon, Rachel's List, Sophie's List.
I have like 100 of these somewhere. I'm not gonna read them off. You guys already got the point. Like, I can't wait until they invent a review system for drugs. So how do you guys think those reviews would go? I think they'd be something like, weed, 5 stars. I ate a piece of pizza off the ground the other day.
It was delicious.
Ecstasy, 3.5 stars. I danced all night, but I might have made out with my brother. Crack cocaine, 0 stars.
Oh, because it's fucking crack cocaine, guys?
Would you expect me to say crack cocaine 5 stars? I got all the VCRs out of my neighborhood. Man, I like that you said yes. So like, hold on. Maybe crack has some merits about it. Maybe crack's getting a raw deal. It's not, by the way. Every time I told that joke, there's always been someone who's been like, I don't know VCR, upset because I said they smoke crack. Or They tried to sell me a VCR after the show. Good. So, how many people in there have a crazy ex-boyfriend or girlfriend? Woo! All right, good. See, I learned my audience earlier. They love fighting children. No one in here has dated anyone else except the person they're with. Good job. Everybody met here tonight. Give it up for your first dates, everyone. Insane. So you guys, you're at Comedy Planet right now. Give it up for yourselves. We have a giant show for you tonight. So many funny people. We have Trey Dunn and Ismael Luke B down from Atlanta. They're going to give you a great show, and headlining the first one is Mr. Carlos Valencia. And then right after him headlining the second one, Chris Buck. Everyone make some noise for those guys. But up first, I'm going to bring up a very funny comedian. So I want you to show all the love in the world for Mr. Chris Isley!
Oh, what are you guys doing tonight?
Appropriate. Alright, I like that. You guys feeling alright? You guys feeling good tonight? Yeah? I'm not feeling too well. I actually just reached a new low point in my life recently. The other night, I got really drunk, and I drove to a Checkers. That's not the low point yet, man. I got really drunk one night, and I drove to a Checkers, and then I went to the drive-thru, and then I proceeded to pass out. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the most horrifying ways to be woken up is to a man banging on your car window being like, "Hey man, you at Checkers!" I didn't know what to do. I was just like, "Ah!" and I spun off. And then I looked over to the side. I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even get anything." So what I had to do was drive all the way back, and I passed out again. And you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the second worst ways to be woken up from your sleep is a man, once again, banging on your car window being like, "Hey man, you still at Checkers right now? Come on man, get your life together, get Jesus." It was based on a true story actually. No. I have a really strong opinion on cats. You guys like cats? I don't like cats at all. I like cats because cats have permanent fuck you gonna do face, you know what I mean? I don't like any animal that has a higher self-esteem than me, you know what I mean? I don't play that in my house. Alright. Let's see what kind of audience I'm working with. You guys have jobs? Alright, man. I have a job. I work at this hotel downtown in Savannah, and one of the things I have to do at this hotel is provide turn-down service. And I don't know if you guys know this, but turn-down service is essentially whenever you're all at bed and breakfast with your family. You know, you guys leave for the evening, you do whatever you do. I break into your room and I just start stealing shit. It's the greatest job ever, I swear to God. But like, it's not like anything valuable. It's just like trash and dirty towels and things like that. But like, I still try to be like real like gangster about it. Like, I'll kick down the door like with a key, and I'll just kick down the door like, "Yeah, after I steal all this shit, all this trash and shit, I'm gonna make up the bed and then put a cookie on it." You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't have that job anymore. No, but when I was working at this hotel that I made up, I was turning down a room one time, and I went to a guest room, and they had an alarm clock. And this wasn't just any alarm clock. It was a countdown clock to Obama's last day. And the first thing I thought was, oh, so this person takes this everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even unpack everything at first. The first thing, like, all right, I got my bags here and Obama clock right here. You know what I mean? You know, that, like, what is it? What happens when it hits zero? Sir, right here, what do you think happens when it hits zero? It's all done.
Hillary!
Like, I wonder, like, what he... Hillary pops out of the clock. Thank you, ma'am. You wouldn't hang me for that joke for me. I appreciate that. You think every time he hits the snooze button, he hits it with a whip? It's alright. I told it. You can laugh at it. Ma'am, I need you to tone that down a bit. No, keep it going. I don't know. I realize romantically I'm nothing like the movie The Notebook. You know what I mean? I'm more like a sticky note. Yeah. I know, I mean, ladies, you can relate, right? You know, wedding season coming up. You know, always a bridesmaid, never a real nigga. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I mean? Wormhole in Savannah, Georgia. Can't find the right outfit, you know what I'm saying? But, just got back from the doctor not too long ago, and I found out I have this terribly rare disease. It's called still look like you're 16ism. You know what I mean? It's a disease where you look like an extra and that's a raven. It's a disease where you look like the kid in the wheelchair with Malcolm in the middle. It's a disease where you look like both Keenan and Kel. It's a disease where you don't have any self-respect. Wormhole, am I right? Yeah. But despite looking like I'm 16, I'm actually a 21-year-old adult. Which, thank you. I'm really like nervous about it though. Mostly because I had my midlife crisis when I was 11. It's a math joke, don't worry about it. You guys up here like, oh, this fucking nerd on stage right now, telling math jokes. Whatever. But I met my dad for the first time the other day. Thank you, Wormhole. Guys, seriously, let's act like this is a Tyler Perry movie. You guys, I met my father for the first time the other day. Woo! Thank you. I can't lie to you, it was an okay Cupid. We had an 85 enemy percentage. I don't think it's gonna work out between us. No, but I have a dad, and my dad is old. My dad was born, if you believe it or not, when there was only 48 states in America. 48 states. That's how old my dad is, so I like to give him shit for it all the time. I'm like, haha, Dad, you're old. And he's like, hey, son, you're a disappointment. Jokes on him. Guess who gets to open up the wormhole tonight? Am I right, you guys? Am I right? Dad, call me back. That joke is titled, I have father issues. Alright. I'll leave you guys on this one right here. You know what I really feel bad for? I feel bad for like the nice guy back in like the 1400s, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like this the guy, like the nice guy who's like sending like letters back and forth to like a long distance secret admirer. Like every day he writes a letter like, oh my dearest, I can't wait to see you again. Please respond back to this message. I miss you greatly. And then like he takes his carrier pigeon and he ties the note and he sends it off. And then like 3 months later, pigeon comes back, guy takes the pigeon, opens up the note, and all it says is, new pigeon, who this? You guy looks at it like, God damn it, not again. Alright, thank you guys, I appreciate it. Have a great night.
That was Christmas Light, everyone give it up! Something we can all relate to, new pigeon, who this? Up next, this man came down from Atlanta, and he is so hilarious. I want you to show him all the love in the world. Mr. Ismael Loutfi!
Yeah! Whoa.
That was Ismail Luke B, everyone. Give it up! So funny. I'm going to bring up your first headliner. You guys are going to love him a lot. He's actually toured with Dave Attell and... I already forgot the Doug Stanhope! I've already had too much to drink. Good job, Wormhole. By the way, tip your bartender. She gives out all the whiskey. Everyone, give it up for Mr. Carlos Valencia!
Hey everybody, how about a hand for everybody you've seen tonight? All the comics you saw. Derek, Chris. And Ismail, is that how you say that shit? Ismail? Spicy, it's a spicy Muslim back there. You guys doing alright so far? Doing okay? You guys getting your drinks on and all that? Alright, I just want to make sure everybody's settled down and all that before we start out. Because here's the thing, I don't know if anybody here has seen me. This is my third or fourth time here, I forget. And honestly, nobody's more surprised that this is still going on than I am. I love it. I love this fucking place, but it seems there's not a whole lot of foot traffic, walking, unless they're like going either to cash their check or get liquor, and oftentimes it's the same people. But I love it. I love this fucking place. I love coming back here. So in case you haven't seen me though before, the kind of comedy I do is a little bit dark, and by dark I don't mean African American. I mean it's a little. Some people call it edgy. Some people call it offensive. Whatever. I don't mean to be offensive. So before I do any of that kind of material, I do want to establish this. All right, I am a fun guy. I'm a fun. Like if you ask anybody that knows me, you answer like, "Hey, what's that Carlos like?" They're like, "Oh, fun guy." He is a fun guy. Tell you how fun I am. I'll give you a couple of examples of how fun I am. If I worked at NASA, right? Which I don't work at NASA. But if I ever worked at NASA, whenever we'd go to get something to eat, I would be like, "We are go for lunch." Right? It's kind of fun. Like a fun guy would say that, I think. Right? Hey, go for lunch, Here's another fun guy thing I would do, right? If I was a spider, right? I'm not a spider, I'm a human being. But if I was a spider and ever had to fill out an application, right? Under occupation, I would write web developer. Oh man, that'd be fun, right? A fun spider would do that, I think. But this, man, this by round of applause, how many people in here are not outside? Yeah! That's an inside joke. Look at how fun. The fun never stops. Alright. Now that you know I'm fun, let's talk some serious shit up in here. I saw this. I don't know. Was it a big? I don't know if it was a big thing here, but a few months ago there was a big controversy about the Confederate flag. Right? It was like, oh, take down the Confederate flag in Columbia, blah blah blah, and I don't understand why people feel so passionate about that flag. And here's the two reasons I always get are one of them it's about heritage, not hate. But I'm like, well, but it is a heritage of hate. That doesn't make any sense. Right? But then the other argument always seems to be, well, it's about pride. It's about Southern pride. And I'm like, pride of what? What are you so proud of? The South lost that war. Right? If you're going to wave the Confederate flag, why don't you wave a white flag right along with it? That's the last one that Army waved before the war was over. But listen, I'm not saying that you should be ashamed of being from the South either. No. Here's the thing. You had nothing to do with what happened 200 years ago, right? People like to say pride about their heritage and their ethnicity, and I believe it's all horseshit. It's shit that your ancestors did, but you didn't do anything either. Like people from the North like to feel superior because, oh, we were against slavery. My ancestors were against slavery. You know why the North was against slavery? It's because you can't grow cotton where it's cold. If they were getting rich off of cotton in the North, we'd probably still have slavery to this day. So don't feel proud about anything or ashamed about anything that your ancestors did, because that's what people do. Like Columbus Day happened about a month ago, and Italians love it. They're like, oh, Italians like, nah, just because you're Italian doesn't mean that you sailed the seas with Columbus in 1492. Just because you're Irish doesn't mean you invented alcohol abuse. Right? Just because you're Greek doesn't mean you invented butt fucking. Right? And those last two are pretty awesome, but you had nothing to do with it. Your ancestors achieved that shit. You didn't do shit. And by the way, here's another one. It also applies to gay pride. Gay pride. No, why are you so proud of it? You were born gay. Right? That's like me being proud that I'm 5'6". I'm not. I don't think you should be ashamed of being gay either. I don't think that makes any sense, you know. Like, I know there's gay marriage now, you know there's a gay marriage, and yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it, you know. I think marriage is gay anyway. I don't care if they do it, you know. Is there a lot of married people here in the audience? Married people? You guys married? All right. How about divorced people? Is there any divorced people in the audience? Yeah, see, there are a lot more enthusiastic with divorced people usually. So I don't think I'll ever get married. You know, I've never been married. I've never been engaged, but you know, I have thought about committing suicide before. So I think I know that feeling. I don't think I'll ever be engaged though, because here's something I heard recently. I don't know if you guys. You tell me if I'm right. I heard if you ask a woman to marry you, you're supposed to get her an engagement ring that's worth 2 months' salary. Is that correct? Or more. Oh, really? All right. I'm not saying you're a gold digger. Actually, I am kind of saying that. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3 or 4 because I'm broke. I don't have any money. Like, I actually lose money every month. Like, I've done the math. Because I have more bills than the money I make. I lose, on average, $200 a month. Right? So I think if I ever ask a woman to marry me, she should give me $400. Right? Yeah, or 6 or 8. I don't know. See how that backfired? It's a useless purchase too. Like, that's another thing that gets me about all these engagement. Remember the diamond rings? Because they're a useless purchase. Diamonds are not that rare. They try to make it sound like they're rare. They're not. The reason they're so expensive is because, like, you know, a lot of the companies that retail those diamonds, they have a monopoly, so they jack up the prices. It's a useless purchase. It wouldn't be the first thing that we buy that is useless. We do it all the time. What really gets on my nerves, though, is when we buy stuff that is actually useful, just to never use it. Right? Like, there's the example I always give. Decorative towels. Right? You familiar with decorative towels? If you don't know, decorative towels are these towels. I used to say that women buy, but, you know, men buy them too. Usually gay men, but, you know, they buy them, right? But they're these towels that they buy that you're never supposed to use. But I forget about this shit, so I go to a friend's place, and she freaks out. She's like, "Oh no, Carlos, why'd you use it? It's a decorative towel. It's not supposed to." I'm like, listen, if you have a towel that you don't want anybody to use, the bathroom is probably the worst possible place to put it in. Right? Except for maybe like next to the computer or some shit, you know what I mean? I like how that one takes a second. If your friends don't get it, then just go ahead and explain it. Masturbation. We're talking about masturbation, people. By the way, if I found out anything, is that if you want masturbation done right, you got to do it yourself. Am I right? That's not right. Come on now. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. You guys have kids? Kids in the audience? Like, how many kids do you have, man? Yeah, just have one kid. Do you have any kids? One? Is it the same kid, or just like, all right? Do you positive?
Their kid. We're not gonna get into this right now.
But I don't like him. Not your kid in particular. Just in general, I'm not a big fan of kids. And actually, you know what? I keep blaming it on the kids, but it's more the parents' fault, really. Like, here's what I hate. I hate it when parents just come up to me and start, like, talking to me about their kids and showing me pictures without me even fucking asking, right? So I'm trying to come up with ways to avoid this happening again. So these are a couple that I've come up with so far. Like, when somebody comes up to me and just starts showing me pictures of their kids without me asking, then I pretend like they're trying to sell it to me. Right? Like, what? Oh, that kid, 10,000 tops. Tops. I mean, that kid's probably going to need braces. That's like $3,000. I'm more in the market for an Asian kid. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. So there's another thing I do. Like, if somebody starts talking to me about their kids, then I just pretend like I'm entirely too interested in the kid. Right? It's like, oh, that's Bobby? Okay, so what does Bobby do? Soccer practice? What time does soccer practice start? 3:30? Alright, so does he just go straight there from school, or is there some like alone time that he has in between those two? Do you pick him up right at 6:30? And if that doesn't work, you just kidnap their kids. It's a joke. I don't care for kids because they are fucking stupid. It's like they are, and it's almost like they get stupider the older they get. Like, I like little kids, but once they start meeting other kids, it's almost like they get stupider. Like, you know, I don't know, by osmosis or some shit. Like, I heard this in the news. There was this kid that almost died playing the choking game. Like, how stupid do you have to be to agree to play a game that involves choking? How is that even news? That's what happens when you choke people, they die. Right? That's kind of like having some story where like, oh yeah, you'll never believe what happened Billy while he was playing the shoot me in the face game. Right? Again, but I don't want to put it all on the kids. A lot of times it's the parents' fault, especially parents that just had their first baby. They're the worst. Like I like parents that have more than one kid, even though they're kind of polluting the earth. I still like them because they know, like parents that have more than one kid, they know that some of these kids, they're not gonna amount to shit, and that's fine, because you can't breed Einstein after Einstein, right? You can't all be geniuses. But parents that just had their first kid, they're the worst. They're the worst because they always think their baby's the smartest. Always. They'll come up to you and be like, oh, Carlos, you're not going to believe it. My baby is so smart. So smart. The other day, he grabbed an orange and he put it in a bucket. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What? Like, oh yeah, the other day he fell asleep and I'm pretty sure he knew it was bedtime. What, he fell asleep? I can fall asleep with my eyes closed. Listen. For once, I want to meet one parent that's going to come up to me and be like, you know what, Carlos, I'm not really sure, but I think my kid's retarded. Yeah, it's like, forget that college fund. I'm just going to invest in helmets. That's what I'm going to do, and drill bibs.
He's going to get the sciences done in a meth lab explosion. Why even bother? Not your kids, your kids.
Next president of Savannah or some shit. So I'll tell you this. As you can probably tell by looking at me, I'm a big NASCAR fan. Love it. Love the NASCAR. You guys into the NASCAR? Oh, if you're not, you're missing out. Here's what I love about NASCAR. NASCAR gives me a chance to root for my favorite corporations. Yeah. I don't even know the drivers, but sometimes I want to root for the Home Depot.
As I go, Home Depot! I love your shingles.
That's a joke, guys. That's a joke. That's a joke. I would never root for the Home Depot. No, I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. It's because I don't think it's fair that you can't use Home Depot gift cards towards the purchase of Mexicans. Why are they on display? Why do you tease me, Home Depot? Listen, guys, it's okay. I can tell that joke. Because I have a microphone.
I'm not Mexican. A lot of people think I'm Mexican because my name is Carlos
Valencia. I'm not. Here's what I get. I get Mexican, and here's the other one. I'm not Amish. I am neither Amish. Yeah, see, all the time, every single show that I do, there's always at least one person that's like, "Oh my God, that's the first Amish Mexican I've seen in my entire life. He must work like a motherfucker." He probably landscapes so that it makes bed frames at night. That's probably what he does. No. I'm not Amish, I'm not Mexican, and I'm not Jewish either. That's the other one I got all the time. I'm the furthest thing. Yeah, you lose too, sorry. I'm the furthest thing from Jews. Like, first of all, I was raised Catholic. Second, I never keep kosher. And third, I don't have any money. I can't even shapeshift. That's how not Jewish I am. I'm like the opposite of Jewish, really, is what I would do. Well, actually, no, the opposite of Jewish would be German, but whatever comes up there. I assure you it's not too soon for that joke. It's been 70 years, I think, but it's okay. So this is the question I get a lot then. It's like, all right, Carlos, so you're not Amish, Mexican, Jewish, then what are you then? I'll tell you what I am. I am Colombian. I was born in the United States, but my whole family is from Colombia, South America, not South Carolina. And I lived there 10 years. But here's the thing. Even though I lived there when I was a kid, I'm still familiar with all the television shows that you watched in the United States. Because I watched them too. I just watched them in Spanish. Right? And that's all fine and good. But what weirded me out thinking about it like recently was that they wouldn't just translate the dialogue of the shows. They would translate the titles as well. And I don't know how they came up with some of these titles because there was never a direct translation. It was always like an interpretation. I'll give you a few examples. Like the A-Team. Are you guys familiar with the A-Team? You guys remember the A-Team? You old enough? Yeah. I used to watch the A-Team when I was a kid. And then, if they translated the A-Team, there's what it literally would be called. It would be called El Equipo A. Right? But that's not what they called it. Instead, what they called it in Spanish was Los Magníficos, which literally translates to the Magnificents, which sounds more like a magician show to me, but whatever, you know, I guess Mr. T's hair was kind of magical. Maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. It gets worse though. I'll give you a few more examples. Different Strokes. You guys remember Different Strokes? Yeah. This is what they called Different Strokes in Latin America. It was called Blanco y Negro. Yeah. If you're not familiar with the Spanish language, that literally translates to white and black. Like, I'm not entirely sure if that's racist or not, but it is a little ironic that the show was kind of supposed to be about being colorblind, and that's all the translator saw.
What you talking about?
Exactly. Like, well, there's a white dude and a bunch of black kids. All right, Blanco y Negro. That's what we're going to call this one next. Here's another example, and again, I'm not making these up. Like, here's another example. You guys remember that sitcom, Growing Pains? Growing Pains? Yeah. It's what they called Growing Pains in Latin America. It was called Ay, como duele crecer, which literally translates to ouch, how it hurts to grow. I'm not even making up the ouch part, it's in the name. You can Wikipedia that shit. It's got the upside down exclamation point and everything. You can look it up. I'll give you one more example. Saved by the Bell. You guys know Saved by the Bell? Yeah. It's what they called Saved by the Bell in Latin America. It was called The Mario Lopez Show. Alright, I made that one up. The other ones are true. I'll tell you this, I've been doing comedy for a little while now, and so this is the thing I'm trying lately. I want to be more honest in my comedy. I want to be more honest. So I'll tell you this right now. I should have told you up front, but I'll tell you now. I am full of shit. Alright? I'm entirely full of shit. Like, I try to talk like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't, because I don't read enough, and I don't watch the news. Like the last bookstore that I went to was actually an adult bookstore. Right? Well, the only reason I went, though, is because I was surprised to see they still existed. I thought they were out of business, you know, because you have your internet porn now, right? Like, finding an adult bookstore these days is kind of like finding a payphone, right? Or a hooker that still takes checks, right? You don't see those very often. They have the swiper readers now, you know, the square. Yeah. So I was surprised to see that they still existed. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and then, you know, I was like, you know what? It's not just adult bookstores that are hurting. A lot of internet porn sites have gone out of business. Because I remember when I was a young teenager, you know, taking the beginning baby steps into my masturbation career. I remember one of my first websites that I loved to visit back then was a website called The Bang Bus. Right? Are you familiar with The Bang Bus? There you go. I'm glad a few of you are not ashamed to admit it. I appreciate it, my friend. For those of you unfamiliar or too ashamed to admit it, I'll explain it to you. Don't worry, I got you covered, bro. I got you. Don't let them make fun of you, because the Bang Bus was the shit. That was my jam. Alright? Don't shame the Bang Bus, alright? Bang Bus, if you don't know, there was these gentlemen. They would get in a big van, and they would drive around. They would pick up ladies off the street, and they would make that sweet, sweet love to them, right? Like sweet, sweet love on the van. Right? There's a 5-minute act out right here. I'm just going to keep doing this. They would do that, right? And, but here's the thing. You don't hear about the Bang Bus anymore, right? And I'm like, what happened? What happened to the Bang Bus? Here's what I think happened. Gas prices. Yeah. It's just no longer affordable to drive a giant van around just to fuck a bunch of whores. Right? I'm sure they try to retool at some point, but you know what? Bang Prius doesn't have the same ring to it. Right? There's not enough room back there anyway. You're gonna fuck a bunch of midgets? Get out of here. That's disgusting. It's a children's show. So my point is, I don't read, I guess. I don't know the point. I don't read. I don't read enough, and I don't watch the news either. I used to try to watch the news. I honestly did. I used to be like a big political science nerd, so I used to watch all the news networks, but I had to stop Because it seemed like every news network was just in a competition to see which one could get me to say who gives a fuck the most times. Because they never report real news. It's just like celebrity bullshit and tabloid horseshit, and I don't care about any of that. I don't care what Kim Kardashian is balancing on her ass, and I don't care what Miley Cyrus is shoving up her twat. I don't care. I think she's an attention whore. I can't stand her, and I know it's a little ironic calling her an attention whore when I'm standing on a stage with lights pointing at me, but hear me out. As much as I don't like her, I don't think she should be censored. I don't believe in censorship. I think she should be allowed to be as raunchy as she wants to be, because nothing good ever comes out of censorship. I'll give you an example that relates to comedy. One of my favorite comics of all time is a man by the name of Bill Hicks. All right? A few of you are familiar with Bill Hicks. If you're not, you should look him up. He was a great comic. He's passed away now. But over 20 years ago, Bill Hicks did a set on the David Letterman show that got banned. Like, they recorded it, but they censored it altogether. They never aired it. And if you look at it, you can look it up on YouTube now. You'll see that one of the jokes he told during that set was how he wanted to start a television show called Let's Hunt and Kill Billy Ray Cyrus. But that set got censored. Nobody ever heard that joke. And what happened? Now we're stuck with Miley Cyrus. That man was a prophet. Yeah. Back in the day, people were like, oh, he's trying to save us from achy breaky. No. He knew if Billy Ray is allowed to jizz into anything, it's going to be horrible. But he got censored, and that's what happens. It's never good. And by the way, before you think I'm biased about the news networks, I think they're all horrible across the board. Like, people try to tell me that Fox News is the worst, and I hesitate to agree with that, because then I'd actually have to agree that Fox is a news network, and I don't think I can take that lead. Just, yeah, to me, Fox News is to journalism what the WWE is to professional sports. Right? Kind of looks like the real thing, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just a bunch of rich white dudes telling them what to say and do. The other news networks might be better than Fox, but that's not saying much. You know? Like, CNN might be better than Fox, but that's not saying much. Like trying to brag that you're better than Fox News, it's kind of like trying to show off that you have better handwriting than Michael J. Fox. Right? It's not saying... nobody was harmed into making that joke, I assure you. He would laugh at that. Big old shaky laugh. CNN actually employs the worst person in the world. I hate this person more than I hate Miley Cyrus and Kim Kardashian combined. Nancy Grace. Yeah, I can't stand Nancy Grace. I think she's the uber cunt of the world. I hate her. She's the worst person in the world because she profits out of people's misery. But here's something that happened a couple of years ago. I don't know if you're familiar with this. Nancy Grace had some health issues, and she had a tumor, and she got it removed. Right? She got a tumor removed. One of my friends was trying to be funny. One of my comic friends, when he came up to me, he was like, "Hey, Carl, you're probably bummed out when she got the tumor removed, right? You probably cried that day." And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not a monster, right? Like, I was actually glad that she got the tumor removed, because it makes me happy to think that that tumor is finally cancer-free." Long way to go for that joke, I know. But she's the worst. She profits out of people's misery. I don't understand. Like, she makes money off of, like, tragedy. Like that whole, was it Casey Anthony? Do you guys still remember that chick, Casey Anthony? If you don't remember Casey Anthony, she killed her kid in Florida. Well, all right, allegedly she killed her kid, but she got off because it's Florida and they're cool with that, apparently. They're like, yeah, fucking kill your kid. She got off. And listen, again, I said I'm trying to be more honest in my comedy, so I'll tell you this right now. I would fuck Casey Anthony. I would, and not just because she was kind of hot, but because if you do knock her up, then you don't really have to worry about child support. At least not for very long. You took that well enough. I love you to death, lady. I wish you would come at every single one of my shows. I think as I was living in New York City last year. I lived there for a year, and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. It was hard because the first month that I was there, I got 3 parking tickets, 3 days in a row, and for one of them, I got my car towed. Right? And the reason I got my car towed is because I parked too close to a fire hydrant. Right? And people were like, well, you're a fucking idiot. Why'd you do that? You're not supposed to do that. I'm like, listen, I know you're not supposed to do that, but the only reason I did it is because you could tell that the fire hydrant was out of service. And they're like, well, how do you know? Did it have a sign? I'm like, no, it didn't have a sign, but you could tell it was out of service. Because if you like went right up to it, right, and you looked at it like really close, you could tell that it was on its side and not attached to the ground. Like, I'm no fire hydrant engineer, but I think when the apparatus is no longer attached to the earth, maybe it doesn't need a repair. Fuck the NYPD is what I'm trying to say here. It's a long way to go for that one too. And I try to be like a better New Yorker. Like, I try to adapt to whatever New York City is, you know, be a better, whatever that means, eat more bagels, be a bigger asshole, whatever, right? Like, I even followed the news while I was up there. And here's one of the stories that was a big deal when I was in New York City. They were having a big controversy because they were not allowing homosexual groups to be in the St. Patrick's Day parade, right? They were not allowing gays in the parade, which I found incredibly ironic because I can't think of a much gayer event than a parade, right? It's like, let the gays in it, they'll make it fabulous, right? You ever been to a gay pride parade? It's the best. People are dancing around, they're half naked, guys are jerking off on each other. You know, maybe that's how I celebrate, don't judge me. Not allowing gays in a parade makes absolutely no sense. That's kind of, not allowing gays in a parade is kind of like having a no homos policy in your butt fucking competition, right? Yeah, I don't want all these gays queering up my sodomy festival. Trying to run a nice Christian sodomy festival and these gays. I'll tell you what's even worse than that, like even more ironic. I was walking down Times Square and there was a t-shirt shop. One of the t-shirts that they were selling said, "Welcome to America, now learn the language." Right? And I wasn't really surprised to see that shirt. You know, I've been to Mississippi, I've seen it. Right? But it was a little ironic to see it in New York City because it's one of the few places in America where you can get a shirt that says, "Welcome to America, now learn the language," from somebody that actually doesn't know the language. Right? Only in New York do you get to see that shit. I will say this though, just to clarify, I do think the English language is the best. It really is the best language in the world. Like English is so awesome. England named its whole country after it. Did you guys know that? Yeah, it's not just jokes. Sometimes it's education. Edutainment, they call it. Here's what I love about English so much. We have phrases in English that they don't have in other languages. Like, for example, knock on wood. Are you familiar with that phrase? Right? You say something, you don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, right? They don't have that phrase in other languages, which kind of explains to you why so much bad shit happens all over the world. Yeah. Because you know, there was probably some dude out in Japan just like 4 or 5 years ago, and he was talking to his buddy in Japanese, and he was like, "Hey man, can you believe we have not had a single tsunami knock out one of our nuclear power plants?" And that's all he said. I know, it's tragic, people. That's obviously a joke, of course. I'm not superstitious myself, and nothing bad's ever happened because of it, cross my fingers. Like, I don't really believe in much of anything, to be honest with you. I'm an atheist. But don't worry, I'm not a preachy atheist. You know, I'm not going to be knocking door to door, you know, have you heard the not so good news? It's not going to be me. You believe whatever you want to believe, I'll believe whatever I want to believe. What weirds me out, though, is that I do have friends that are atheists but are also superstitious. And how does that make absolutely any sense? It's not believing in stuff that you can't scientifically prove, right? Because if you are, like, say you do believe that there's, you know, there's a man in the sky that controls everything, or you believe in ghouls and goblins, then all right, then you have the right to believe in all kinds of bullshit, right? You might as well believe that, you know what, when it snows, that's angel cum, right? That's angel cum falling on us. Right? And when it rains, they found a little squirter. That's what it is. They found a little angel squirter. If you don't know what a squirter is, then, you know, just ask the band bus guy. He'll probably tell you, fill you in on that shit. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you know, man, you gotta be proud about your fucking porn, man. What? No, yeah, I know, it's him. Yeah, who? What? Oh, he's got also fucking that own that porn too, man. I don't give a fuck, dude.
be ashamed of your pornography is what I'm trying to say, people. That's the message I want to give to you. You guys showed a little bit late, but my whole set's been about don't be ashamed of pornography. Right? Yeah. Speaking of which, I want to tell you this. This is another thing. I've been doing comedy now for about 10 years, a little bit over 10 years, and one of the things I've been trying lately is called trying to be a better comic. Probably should have tried this about 9 years ago, but whatever, what are you going to do now? Hindsight's 50-50, right? So, this is what I heard. I heard if you're going to be a good comic, you got to show vulnerability, alright? And I'm not really entirely sure what that means, but I think what it means is that you kind of embarrass yourself, and then people can relate to you a little bit more, right? You tell an embarrassing story, and then people are like, look at that dummy, I don't like him, right? So I'll tell you an embarrassing story. But before I do that, I have to tell you this. I am the kind of guy that likes getting blowjobs. Apparently just me and Bang Bus guy, I guess. Not to each other, but you know what I'm saying. Love it. Blowjobs, oh my goodness. Love it. Oh, she likes it too. She's giggly and stuff. Blowjobs, they're the best. But here's the problem. For a long time, I didn't like going down on ladies. No, wait, give me a second, see? I almost got killed because of that. It's not that I'm selfish, ladies. It's just that I wasn't that good at it, But problem is, a lot of women won't go down on you unless you go down on them, right? Yeah, it's like a catch 69. So, yeah, it's like a math problem, I guess. But, tried to improve my technique, right? So I Googled, because I'm tech savvy. Here's what I found out. Apparently, a good strategy when you're going down on a lady is to do the alphabet with your tongue. Which later on I found out Sam Kinison came up with that, with the alphabet with your tongue. Which actually makes a lot of sense to me, but what really made me think about it is, man, Chinese dudes must be fucking awesome. Like 8,000 characters. It's like 7 strokes per character. You might be down there a while, but she'll enjoy it. Alphabet with your tongue. I gave that advice to a friend of mine recently, but it turns out he's dyslexic. Yeah, he ended up blowing himself. Yeah, I know. I think he's in a wheelchair now, actually. I think Well, that leads me, though, what I wanted to tell you guys is this is my embarrassing admission. I'm glad you're back to hear this. I once went down on a lady. Right, familiar with the oral sex I'm talking about? All right. Down on a lady. Not knowing that she was on her period. Yeah, boy, was my face red. That's a good joke, man. That's a disgusting joke, but it's a good fucking joke. You take it home, tell it at church on Sunday. Tell it to your kids. Here you go. See, you're the fucking best fucking audience member in the fucking world. Before I wrap it up, because I am getting towards that point. Oh, look at that, my fucking thing just broke. I sell CDs after the show. If you want to buy a CD, it's cool. And if you don't, that's cool too. You don't have to avoid me like I have the plague or some shit. You can still stop by and say hello. Because I also have business cards. And I just give those away. That's how awesome I am. I just give the business cards away. That's my Facebook and my Twitter. But if you want to get a CD, here it is. But I will say this. I do want to say this before anybody tries to buy one. If you think what I did tonight was a little too harsh, then you probably don't want to get the CD. Because it gets worse. Like, it's literally, the CD is called It Gets Worse. Because that's how bad it is if you get the CD. Or get it and just give it to a friend of yours that you never want to talk to again. That'll work too. They'll give you this. It's like, what the fuck were you thinking giving me that shit? You guys answered me this. Why does everybody assume I'm a father when I tell them I have a 3-year-old at home? Talking about a dog, people. I have a dog. Actually, I have two. I have a Great Dane, and I have a not-so-Great Dane.
call that one Dane Cook. That's a little joke. I'm just fucking around with Dane Cook, man. A lot more successful than I am. Let me get into this, guys. It's important to me. I hate to get too serious at the end of the show here, but if you guys indulge me for a second, it's important to me, so I do want to say it before we go. I am really good at the sex. That's not the funny part just yet. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove to you how good I am at the sex. Not once, not a single time, have I ever had a woman fall asleep on me while I'm making love to her. I've had a few wake up. Yes, what's the difference? That's a joke, people. That's a joke. Exactly, exactly. It may or may not be a rape joke, but it's still a joke. See, I get in trouble for these kind of things all the time. Because there's the kind of comedy that I like to do. You know, you already seen enough of it. It's like, yeah, I like to do comedy that's whatever, edgy or whatever you want to call it. And you have every right not to like it. I'm not going to say that you're wrong for not liking it. Yeah, you have every right not to like it. But what you can't do is you can't tell other people that they can't like it. Right? You can't tell it. But I run into people that are like that, and they complain to me after the shows. I'll give you an example. I did a joke once about Asperger's. And somebody came up to me after the show, and they were complaining. Like, hey, you're not supposed to make fun of Asperger's. It's not funny. And I'm like, well, listen. First of all, again, it might not be funny to you, but you can't tell other people that it can't be funny to them. Number two, free speech. If we still have anything that's wonderful and great about this country, so you can still talk and joke about anything that you want. And number three, if you're going to be so touchy about a syndrome or a disease, then don't name it something that sounds so much like a combination of the words ass and burgers. Right? That's like naming a disease pussy fries. Right? If somebody came up to you and was like, hey man, that guy right over there, he's got pussy fries, you'd be like, oh my god, that's hilarious. Right? But then they'd be like, no man, you can't laugh, it's spelled differently. It's like P-U-C-I, oh go fuck yourself. See, there's the thing, it happens all the time. People get offended at jokes. It makes absolutely no sense to me. If you're easily offended, what are you doing at a comedy show? Right? Stay home, you idiot. Right? Like being easily offended and coming to a comedy show is kind of like, I don't know, like having a peanut allergy and then complaining that you got a rash when you took a tour of the Planters factory. Right? Don't be dumb, stay home. But I run into these problems, right? In my opinion, here's my opinion, and I'll leave you guys with these last couple of thoughts. My opinion is the problem is not comics that tell too many rape jokes. The problem is rapists that tell too many clean jokes. Like Bill Cosby. Right? In case you're unfamiliar with the whole situation, Bill Cosby has been accused of rape by over 30 women, right? Now, how many rape jokes has Bill Cosby actually told? Zero. Maybe I just don't have all his albums. I need to get the deep cuts and the B-sides, but I have never heard Bill Cosby tell a rape joke. Now, how many rape jokes have I told? Who knows? I don't know. I lost count a long time ago. But how many women have accused me of rape? Zero. You know why? It's because I kill them after I'm done. That's why. That's a joke, people. If you don't get that, I can't help you. Leave you with this last one because I know there's a lot of comics here that, the local, actually give it up for all the local comics that come out to these shows. They're really the ones that make this possible, is that they keep this going and they support each other, so that's a great thing. So, and I'm glad that you guys also came out to support them. But because there's so many newer comics here in the room, I want to mention this. I get a lot of newer comics come up to me and ask me for advice, right? And at first I gotta, stop myself from laughing, like really me. But one of the questions I get all the time is, Carlos, how many times will you tell a new joke that doesn't get as good a reaction as you want before you just give up on that new joke and you just never tell it again, right? And so this is what I do. This is my advice. I tell that joke 10 times, right? And if by the 10th time I haven't gotten a good enough reaction, then I move on and I tell my next joke. See, comics often come up to me after the show, right? And they ask me, Carlos, how many times will you tell a new joke that's not getting the reaction that you want before you give up and you never tell that joke again? And I say 10 times. And if I haven't got at least an applause break... Oh, really? All right, well, I guess that's a keeper then. That's my time, everybody. Good night.
That was Carlos Valencia. Everyone give it up! Hey, don't worry, you guys. We only got a few more comics for you. Really quick, let me check on you guys. How are you doing at Comedy Planet? I want to tell you two of my favorite jokes before I bring up your next guy. So I do a lot of driving out in the country. And I passed a sign recently that said Ribfest Yard Sale. I'll give that to you guys again. Ribfest Yard Sale. I know, I did what any of you would have done. I slammed on my brakes. Because Ribfest Yard Sale combines the two things that black people love the most. Ribs and stuff out of other people's houses. Alright, because of jokes like that, people always accuse me of being racist. You know, not people, like my 3 black friends always accuse me of being racist. And I know what you guys are thinking. Derek, you don't have any black friends. Look at that tie. But, for this joke, let's say I have 3 black friends. Well, see, you would think that, but my white friends were like, skinny's the way to go. Yeah, that'll make them like you.
Thailand. Got it on eBay.
That's why it's so shiny. No, they say things like, Derek, what about everything the white man stole from you? Everything he did you. And I tell them, like, well, like I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, as you can tell by my accent. White people were rare in my neighborhood. They were like leprechauns. Or 2-parent households. This weird kid in the neighborhood, like, hey man, did you hear? James has 2 parents. What? You mean like a mom and a grandma? I'm going to bring up our next comedian. I want you to show him as much love as you've shown everyone else. Mr. Mike McGuire, everyone!
Wormhole. Hi. So, I guess this is the second show we're starting. Let's see. Give it up for Chris's lame, Ismael, I don't know his last name, and Carlos Valencia. That was the diversity hour. Now it's just a bunch of white dudes. That's what we have coming for you. But I'm my name's Mike McGuire. I went to a private Christian school, obviously.
You know, when I was 18, we went on a mission trip to Haiti, and I like to travel. And that was the first time that I ever really experienced culture shock.
Because that was the first time, like, we got to Haiti. It was like me and 7 other people, and the 8 of us, like, there were so few white people in Haiti that the 8 of us increased the white population by 800%. Like, dogs were doing double takes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that one? Did you see that? But I had culture shock when we went there because we were meeting the locals, we were talking to them, it was cool shit, you know, whatever. And we were like, oh, well, let's play sports. And I didn't know in Haiti they only play soccer. But I was like, I don't know how to do that, let's play a game of basketball. And so it was me and 2 other dudes that looked just like me versus 3 Wesley Snipes. And I don't know a whole lot about the Bible, but I do know that Jesus said, whatsoever you do unto the least of these, you also do unto me. And we beat Jesus' ass in basketball. Like, I didn't mean to do my Lord and Savior like that, but if you come on the court fucking up, I'm gonna break them ankles. Because that's how I operate. I just want you to know that about me. That's just off the rip, I'm gonna let you know that's what I do. Another thing I started doing recently, I'm not very proud of it. I started watching a lot of bondage porn. Not because I'm into that. I'm not really into that. I am, however, a former Boy Scout, obviously. And I'm just really into seeing other not enthusiasts doing their work. Like, I have a creepy guy at work that'll just walk up to me and show me porn on his phone and be like, look at her tits, look at her ass. And I'll be like, is that a modified half hitch? This man is a genius. That's a dumb joke. You guys volunteer? Anyone volunteer here? No, you don't. Really? You guys volunteer? Where do you volunteer at?
Well, I volunteer for
You, so that's your. You're in the military.
What?
You volunteer. That's not volunteering. That's I'll go overseas and get combat pay. I'll come back and buy a new laptop. That's what my friends do. But no, like I volunteer like at like a nursing home, like for old people. You know, the ones in nursing homes. But I do that, like, and I really love people that are getting older. You know, it's a hard time. It's a lonely time. And I try to make their lives better, especially like there's an Alzheimer's ward. And so what I found out is you can buy old newspapers online, have them delivered. So I started leaving newspapers out in the common area. And like they'll get up, they'll have breakfast, they'll go to the common area, and they'll just be like, "What? The Vietnam War is over. The boys are coming home. That's great." And then the next day I'll leave. "Now we landed on the moon. These were the best 2 days ever." It was good. They liked it. But it got bad because
There's this dude, he stole my pudding in the cafeteria. I wasn't about that.
I like my pudding. And then he took it from me. I was like, "Yo, Francis, I know you took my pudding." And he was just like, "What?" And I was like, "No, don't play the fucking Alzheimer's card. Give me my pudding back." And he was just like, "What?" And I was like, "Alright, that's it. You ruined it for everyone." Next day, Obama elected. Someone saw it. They let him into the White House! It was working out to be such a good week. I'm not allowed to volunteer anymore. They don't like me. So do we have people here from Savannah?
Locals? No locals? Okay, me too. Cool. Locals. It's fun.
Savannah's supposedly haunted, they say. I don't know. I work in a place that's supposed to be haunted, and the story they tell is that there's a ghost that haunts the 3rd floor of the bed and breakfast that I work at. But it's only ever on the 3rd floor, which makes me wonder, like, do ghosts have to stay at the altitude that they died at? Because if so, like, follow me on my logic here. Like, we had astronauts that went up and the ship blew up. Like, who did they get to haunt? I feel like it's probably skydivers. And it's probably not a good haunting. Because they go by so fast. It's probably, honestly, like, if someone was like, "Hey, what does the skydiver sound like getting haunted?" I think it would be like, boo, what the fuck? They don't have time to be scared. That's just my thought. I just want to share that with you guys. I'm going to share my thoughts. Are y'all drinking tonight? We getting drunk out here? Biggest response to alcohol, yes. It's ghosts, man. But no, I love to drink. I do it a little bit too much. But I like drinking. I don't like drinking with people my age. Because, like, I'm 26. Do we have anyone who's in their mid-20s here? No? Okay. I feel like by your friend's reaction, you might be lying.
37.
Like, you were like, "Woo!" Your friend's like, "Bitch! No! 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 Okay, ma'am, you said you were 20. Rebecca, you said you were in your mid-20s. No one contradicted you, and obviously I know you. What's your best story? Exactly. People in their mid-20s don't have good stories. I like drinking with old people. They have great stories. There's a dude at Pinky Masters right now who's like, "One time I was in Texas, and there was a big parade, and then the president's head exploded." What? "Oh yeah, a piece of the skull hit me right in the face. It's still in there." Like, why don't you get that removed? "Oh, I'm sorry. Did a piece of your face fuck Marilyn Monroe?"
It didn't. It didn't. Dude, shut up. Dude, get out of here. Is Jackie O even alive anymore? I don't know these things. I don't know. Dude, get out of here. Ridiculous. Ma'am. But I don't like my family very much. I will tell you that. When you get personal. Someone else doesn't like their family too. Alright, got it. But I don't like my family very much. My family includes me in things that I shouldn't be included in. When I was a kid, I was like 12 years old. They brought me to the store to pick out the suit that my father was going to be buried in. That's not fun. You don't do that to a kid. I walked in, they're like, what kind of tie do you want your dad to have? I was like, how about a tie for first place in a Being Alive contest? They're like, oh, no, you can't have that. No, that's it's my fucking dad. Yeah. If I can joke about it, you're allowed to laugh at it. It's fine. But then, like, the worst part is, this is true. I went on to go pick out a pair of pants for my dad, and my aunt walked up and she was like, well, you know, Mike, the casket only shows from the waist up. We can save a couple dollars if we just don't buy any pants. We'll just put them some gym shorts, save a little bit of money. Is that a fucking thing? Do people bury people pants? I just want to know because I want to have it in my will. Just like you bury me with 2 pairs of pants. And if you don't, I'm going to have an assassin on retainer. You're fucking dead. Like, bury me with a bunch of pants. Because, like, I want to get to heaven and have pants over my shoulder. And I'll see Dad sitting outside the pearly gates. I'll be like, Dad, what are you doing outside? And he's like, dude, I'm in a jacket and gym shorts like a frat boy from Florida. They have a dress code here. I can't get in. Like, you know what, Dad? I thought that might happen. Got an extra pair of chinos for you. Here you go. Like, oh, yes. Got my shit. I got it. I'm going in. He probably wouldn't say shit because it'd be heaven. You're like, yeah, I got my stuff. We're going in. We walk in and Jesus be like, hey, Mike Sr. See, you finally got some pants on you. Glad to see you. Mike Jr. Still not cool with what happened at that basketball game, man. I'm Mike McGuire. Have a good night.
That was Mike McGuire, everyone! Give it up! Alright, this young man came all the way down from Atlanta, so I want you to show him all the love in the world. Give it up for Trey Dunn!
Alright, good news, Savannah. Just broke up with my girlfriend. Turn it up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Who odd? Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What is my whole set? Thank you, thank you. I ran out of time. No, I did it because she was a twin. It's a little weird, but got paranoid to get the two of them confused. You know, one day, start making out with the brother. I don't know. That'd be weird. That was a lie. I just told you. I'm sorry if we got off on the wrong foot. I don't know why I did that. I broke up there because I was just fed up. I walked in her one night. I caught her poking holes in her birth control pills. So this is over. You're an idiot. I couldn't do it. We have a kid, but that's fine. I don't know how that happened. Guys, I'm not a morning person. We'll move on. We'll get to some more real stuff. Stuff that matters. I'm not a morning person. I used to always tell myself, let me have my coffee. I was that kind of guy. Y'all ever do that? Gotta have a coffee. You ever said that out loud to somebody? That's the rudest thing you could ever say. I said it once, I'll never say it again. Someone's like, Trey, can I ask you a question? Hey, let me have my coffee. Then we'll talk. Janice? Let me have my coffee and my diarrhea, and then we'll talk. Janice? Get out of my cubicle. Let me have my coffee, my diarrhea, and let me figure out why these goddamn birds are eating my goddamn tomatoes. Alright? Then we'll talk, Janice. God damn it, I've only been in the office for 5 hours.
I don't know how to make coffee in my office. They don't have a Keurig, and I'm not sure how to put beans in a filter. So, I don't know. I figured out why I'm not a morning person. This is my morning routine. Every morning I wake up, I set my alarm at 6:20 for work. But my clock, it's 1 minute fast every month. That was cool at first, tricking myself, getting up early. But I'm not fooled anymore. So that means every morning I wake up and I do math. It's not good. You just wake up frustrated. Don't do math in the morning, guys. It's rule number 7 of mathematics. Don't do it in the morning. The first 6 rules are PEMDAS. I don't know if y'all remember that. That is parentheses, exponents, math, double it, addition, and show your work. That is PEMDAS. The 7th, don't do math in the morning. That's a direct quote from the inventor of math, Dr. James Mathematics. And he's got a very interesting Wikipedia page, if you'd like to check it out. It'll get you through work one day, believe me. He was Greek. He's a good guy. I was never good with math. I graduated from college with a degree in history. I don't know if you know this, when you get your degree in history, they give you a mortar and pestle. That way you can put your diploma in it and you can grind any hope that you had of a job into fairy dust and you can make a wish. It's crazy. It's like, man, I wish I could be in Savannah doing comedy. Wishes are real, guys. Don't waste them. I could have so much money right now. It's crazy. I don't know why I did that, because the only thing you can really do with a history degree is teach. You know, like, I guess you could be a historian, but man, I don't have that extensive of a library. You know, if you look on my bookshelves, you'll find all 7 Harry Potters and a biography of Ric Flair. Yeah. If you don't know who Ric Flair is, I got a book you might want to read. It is awful. It's everything you didn't want to know about Ric Flair. It'll ruin the man for you. I bought it at the dollar store, and I should not have. It was awful. I think I got into history because of my dad. My dad's a big history buff. When I was little, he used to make us... He made me and my brother dress up for those stupid reenactments of the Cold War. It's like, Dad, we're wearing the same clothes. My parents are divorced. When they got divorced, my dad turned on, I like to call it divorcee dad, where he's just doing shit I guess my mom wouldn't let him. You know? Like he started smoking cigarettes, slept in a bed. Here we go. Here we go. He grew a Fu Manchu, because I guess my mom wouldn't let him look like Hulk Hogan. He couldn't pull it off, so I was telling him, be like, Dad, that's not working for you. You need to shave that. And he'd be like, what's you gonna do when divorcee dad runs wild on you, brother? So like, I'm going to Mom's for the weekend. I got some shit you need to work out, old man. You've gone off the deep end. He's a big wrestling guy. He used to let me stay up late, past my bedtime when I was a kid, watch wrestling. When he'd do that, he'd always be like, hey, don't tell your mother. Which I guess was his line, save the marriage. I don't know what he was thinking. What's weird is he still uses that line after they've gotten divorced. One time I was over at his house, we were watching a movie, there was a titty scene. And he's like, hey, don't tell your mother. It's like, Dad, I'm 27. I've seen a titty. Once. But I'm not going to tell Mom. It'll be our secret. That's cool. That's cool. My dad just learned how to text. That's great. I got his first text. All it said was, hello? That's it. Hello question mark. Like a scientist looking for aliens. He just shot out a message. Like, hello! Anyone out there? Hope it's my son! But if not, whatever. I'd like a response. I don't know how this shit works. I had to call him, because I didn't know how to handle it. He's very proud of himself. He's like, what do you think about your old man texting? It's like, damn, Dad. I can't believe you found the question mark. It's like step 5 in the texting manual. He's a step away from sending a dick pic. Yeah. And we don't want that because I'm the only number in that phone. It'd be terrible to wake up one morning and be like, don't tell your mother. Ooh. Now that's an alarm. I'm up. Take snooze on that. Need more beer. I grew up just south of Atlanta. I won't tell you where exactly, but I'll give you a hint to where I'm from. Did any of y'all remember the game Oregon Trail? Yeah. Some of you? That's cool. When I was a kid, we'd have to play that game with computer partners in school. Yeah. And you remember if you have to ford the river? Yeah. That was a big thing to do, big decision. My partner was an idiot. I asked him one time, I was like, hey man, do you think we should ford the river? And he goes, my daddy says we don't ford nothing, we're Chevy people. I think you're going to be held back. That's not what this game's about at all.
JT? It was initials.
That was weird. I ran into a guy I went to high school with. I had seen him forever. We started talking and found out he just lost his job. And I asked him if I was like, hey, you looking for anything? And he goes, yeah, I'm looking. But it's tough when you're only good at 2 things. And I was like, oh boy, what are those? That's cool.
And he goes, well, I can drive drunk.
And I can make the shit out of some cornbread. I was like, whoa, that's a unique skill set you got there. No one will hire you. Amazing. I don't know what's going on. But I hope he puts that on his resume. You know? Like, all right, Mr. Thompson, it says here your skills include driving drunk? And you make cornbread? And he's going to have to be like, no. That says I make the shit out of some cornbread. I mean, can you read? I underlined it. I don't think you get it, ma'am. This cornbread's so good. This recipe's been passed down my family for generations. Me and my grandmother, the only one who know how to make it. Every Thanksgiving, we have a cornbread cook-off. Losers got to eat supper outside. That's right. Guess who's been eating supper outside the last 5 years? Granny. Don't believe me? Call her. I put her down as a reference. I thought this would come up. It usually does.
Still get you wake up in the middle of the night and be like, God damn, that's some good fucking cornbread. That's a nightmare kind of cream. Oh, what if you got an old piece, start having sweet dreams? You know what I'm saying?
That's good stuff. Damn it, but where am I going to get cornbread at 4 in the morning? Well, guess what? I can drive drunk. You give me a call. Good at 2 things. God damn it. And they're like, you're hired. Why? Why did we never ask for this before? This happened to me earlier today. This was so weird. This morning a guy told me I look like I work at Big Lots. I didn't know that was a look. Judging by your laughter, he nailed it. So, thank you. Chuckles, I don't know what that means. You just threw me off guard because I didn't know Big Lots had employees. I just thought you looked to the person next to you like, how much would you pay for this? Nothing. Huh, that's a steal. I'm going to come back with my family, I think. I think they should operate under a lost and found policy. It's like, Big Lots, you can prove it's yours. Keep it. We've given up, clearly. Have you seen the amount of cars in our parking lot? It's too big of a lot. We misnamed this place. Should have called it yard sale, I think. Why do we have aisles? I don't know. Everything's just thrown on the floor. Big Lots. My name's Trey Dunn, because I know you've already forgotten. I'm going to remind you of it again. I don't like my name at all. I think it's pretty stupid. Trey Dunn, just 2 dumb syllables. Sounds like the name of a caveman, you know. I want to change it. I'm not sure what to change it to. I know what I don't want to change it to, because I talk on the phones a lot at work. People call me the wrong name all the time. Most popular is Craig. Get called Craig a lot. And I stopped correcting people like, you say your name's Craig? And I'm like, yes ma'am, Craig with a T. Yeah. No, you nailed it. T-C-R-A-I-G. Craig. Genius. But Craig Dunn? Ugh. Sounds like the creepiest guy in the world, doesn't it? Craig Dunn. Craig Dunn sounds like a guy that just has a jar of fingers in his basement. Just a piece of shit. No one wants to be Craig Dunn. Craig Dunn sounds like a guy who sits on a toilet backwards and leaves a skid mark on the front of the bowl. That's Craig Dunn. He's a piece of shit. You ask him about it, he's like, I like to rest my elbows on the tank because I read. Like, that doesn't make it better, Craig. You got some issues. I don't know. Craig Dunn sounds like a guy who swings an imaginary golf club in the middle of a conversation. He just sucks. I don't want to be him. So Craig's out the window. I'll try and change it to something else, I guess. You guys are so fun. Larry Dunn. Now that guy, oh boy. Larry Dunn sounds like he has a 401k. Sounds like a guy I might want to be. You, Larry? Who said that? You? Her. Boy, you got a deep voice, man. And that's fine. You be who you want to be. You can be Larry Dunn. Larry Dunn actually sounds like somebody's neighbor. Like no one would ever be named that, but you know someone named Larry Dunn. That didn't go well. I tried to riff there and just failed miserably. I apologize. Thanks for helping. I don't think it would have. Shit. I'm pretty casual, dude. People tell me that a lot. I'm a casual demeanor. I tend to agree. I don't think I'm casual enough, though. No. I want to be Bigfoot casual. You ever seen that guy walk? This is the most casual walk you can have. He's just like... I mean, that is the most comfortable you can look standing up. He looks like a guy who got high and walked into a grocery store. He doesn't know what the fuck he's getting. It's like, I came for fucking Cheez-Its, but I left with a Powerade. I don't know. The red appealed to me. I don't know, but that's supposed to be the walk of a monster. Like, you're supposed to be scared of Bigfoot. That's not an intimidating walk. Like, that's a walk of something you just bump into. You know what I mean? It's like an old friend from school. You see him one day while you're having brunch with your fiance. And you're like, oh, fuck, come over. And he sits down. You know, say hey. He's only supposed to stay for a while, but he orders mimosa, bottomless. You see your fiance roll her eyes. This is supposed to be a brunch about fucking wedding photographers. Now you've gotten this guy ordering bottomless mimosas, but you know, whatever. She goes to the bathroom, you get in deep, you know. Find out he used to work on Wall Street. Quit his job to move out west, live in the woods. City life wasn't for him. It never was. It never was. He's a weird guy. I only moved back home because his mom's sick.
It's tough making a living. Making guitars.
Anyways, it's just not a walk a monster should have. What I'm trying to say, even though what I just described is a monster. He's a brunch monster, and you gotta be aware of those people. They'll order them mimosas and never leave. They'll tell you some shit that'll blow your mind. Like, you live. Interesting. What y'all drinking? PBR's over here. Turn it up. Whiskey? That's good. Everyone's got plastic cups. I imagine it's liquor night. Saturday liquor night, Savannah? Is it Saturday? Every day's liquor day. That's not good for the city. Wow. I'll move down here, though. I drink a lot of cheap beer. It's my thing, like PBRs and shit. Tonight I'm drinking Yingling. I guess I got paid the other day. I'll splurge. I like cheap beer. There's no advertisement for cheap beer, so I'm not sure why I'm drinking it. You know what I mean? I don't advertise it. I think that's because cheap beer just finds you. Just whatever shit you're going through, it pairs well. You know? You go in a gas station. But by the way, has anyone not sighed when they bought cheap beer? It's like, oh, Jesus. Oh, Schlitz. Oh. Steel Reserve. Some shit like that. I guess I'm not paying my rent this month. Oh. I like Schlitz. I don't think they sell Schlitz. I think they either give it away for free or you just pay what you can. I think that's their business model at this point. I was at a bar one time where they were selling Schlitz for $1. It was a pretty good night. Pretty good night. It was around last call. I went to the bathroom and I walk in and there was just this dude. He was crying at the urinal. Not like really bad, but just kind of sobbing, and he had his arm on the wall. I was like, this guy needs some help. So I asked him, I was like, hey man, you doing alright? And he's like, no. You know, I get drunk and I say things I shouldn't, and I'm just kind of being mean all the time. And, you know, I'm trying to change, but then I drink and I say shit I shouldn't. And I was like, alright dude, I can see your dick, that's enough. Peeing on the floor over here. Get it together, man. But I felt bad for him, so I was like, well, do you need anything? And he goes, I'll have another Schlitz. I was like, that ain't a goddamn Schlitz commercial. I don't know what is. Holy shit. It's like, Schlitz, for when you want to change but can't. Yeah, get back to the bar, you pussy. Put your dick in your pants. Stop crying. It's $1. Could be a badass commercial. I got a thank you card in the mail the other day into a wedding shower. Open it up, realize I can no longer read cursive. That's a thing. It's happening. I never thought I'd see cursive again. It was kind of surprising. I was like, I got a headache. Is this in Spanish? I don't know. They don't teach cursive in school anymore. That's fucked up. It's out the window. I think handwriting.
We're going to be the last generation to do that. That's kind of sad.
Like, I feel like handwriting, if you get rid of it, it just takes the sincerity out of everything. You know what I mean? Like, my grandparents still have letters they wrote each other before they got married. They got married when they were 19. So those letters are pretty shitty. I mean, they were just high schoolers trying to explain love. They're just writing Elvis lyrics to each other. So you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Love Pop. I don't know my grandfather's first name, so I'm not sure what he was. I feel like we've come full circle with communication. Like it started with cave art, now we just send emojis. You know, we're back to deciphering pictures as a society. That's awesome. My mom sends emojis, and I would like for that to stop immediately. I don't need that in my life at all. No, you should only send emojis to people in your own age group. Because outside of that, it takes on a totally different meaning. Like the last girl I dated, her favorite emoji was the winky face tongue out. You know that one? Which I've never seen in real life, but it's a thing. So she'd be like, hey, my roommate's gone tonight, want to come over? But you're like, I think I do. If I send her a thumbs up, she gotta play the game. Am I right, ladies? It's all a game. And then, last week I told my mom I was coming up for dinner. She's like, can't wait to see you tonight, door's unlocked. So I sent her a thumbs up too, because you gotta play the game for a free meal, you know what I mean, guys? Come on. Alright, my name's Trey Dunn, thank you so much.
That was Trey Dunn, everyone give it up! We have one more comedian left! He came all the way down here from Jacksonville, so I want you to show him all the love in the world. Mr. Chris Button, everyone!
Yes. Yes, Wormhole. Are you guys gonna make it? Yeah! They pulled the intermission out on you guys. I don't know if you guys know that. They were like, hey, we're gonna have a break. And then they were like, fuck that, 3-hour show. They were like, you guys are getting your money's worth whether you fucking like it or not. This is great, man. This is a great thing just happened to me. I was in a room with a bunch of people and somebody farted. But everyone else in the room was more attractive than me, so they thought I did it. They just put that on me like that. I think I'm an adult. I claim my farts. I'm not a coward. Like that one right there. It's for you guys. It's pretty random. I just had a doctor tell me I need to start doing some cardio, get my heart rate up. So, pretty exciting. This, next year is going to be all about roller coasters and cocaine. It's going to make a change. Does anybody remember the last time they exercised? Do you guys? Does anybody? Mine was 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I was in a BP gas station. There was a cute girl working cashier, and then I held in my gut so long that I tired myself out. Another time I was watching TV, I was trying to watch the Food Network. I flipped through a couple of channels, ended up watching a bodybuilding competition for 45 minutes. I don't know if you ever watched a bodybuilding competition that long. You know, like, what, are you inspired? You want to go to the gym? You want to work out? And I was like, no, I was hungry, and they looked like delicious bronze rotisserie chickens from Publix. It's like, oh, every time they flex, I bet that meat just falls off the bone. Delicious. My doctor told me I needed to stretch. He was like, go home, you know, try to stretch, try to touch your toes. I've never touched my toes. I pay other people to do that. I'm currently resorting to the trickle-down soap method in the shower. Does anybody else do that? That's the trickle-down soap. You know what that is? That's where you lather up real thick, and then you delegate portions of soap down to the peasantry. It's like trickle-down economics, but with soap. Okay, you guys get it. It's not the only way. Sometimes you plug the drain, fill up an inch of soapy water, and then you just shuffle. Just give it a little James Brown. Do some foot laps in the pool, get those feet clean. You know what? All right. Okay. Comedy show's over. Thanks, guys. No. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I don't know. You guys, let me ask you guys a question. You guys ever feel like killing yourself, but then later you're like, oh, I just need to take a nap. Good thing I laid down for a minute, you know? Almost made the wrong call. I'm gonna look this way loud. You guys wanna move over here? The lone straggler couple over there, right? No, man. I get depressed, you know? A little bit, you know? I'm not necessarily depressed, but I'm trying to, like, I don't know, man. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to do that, you know? I know, because I'm not ready to die. Is anybody here ready to die? I'm not ready to die, right? No. I almost had a heart attack last month, or I thought I was having a heart attack. Like, I grabbed my arm. I was like, oh my God. You ever do that? You ever think, like, this is it? Fucking this is how I'm going to go. Like, watching Antiques Roadshow. This is my last moments. And that was terrible, because I thought my whole life would flash before my eyes. I thought my accomplishments, I loved one, my family, none of that happened. The whole time, all I could think was, I am going to die, and Magic Johnson is still alive. I can't go first. I can't go first. I know that's petty. I know it's petty. Alright? But I can't die before I get with AIDS. Me and Larry Bird are hanging out for dear fucking life. Like, dude, if Larry Bird dies first, the Celtics will never live that down. And you're like, what the fuck? That's not taking anything away from the guy. That's not taking anything. He's a great guy. Magic Johnson's a great guy. He's a philanthropist, great spokesperson. He's amazing, right? I mean, he's great at basketball. You get it. He's great at basketball, but you got to admit, he was the best at AIDS. He's the AIDS career twice as long as the NBA career. MVP of HIV, if there was one. He's the top. He's the best. He's greatest of all time. Magic Johnson is the Michael Jordan of AIDS. He's the best to ever play the game. Best to ever play the game. I just don't want him to die later because it's gonna get all weird. M. Night Shyamalan, like it's gonna get weird, you know. Like you guys aren't even ready, like for that twist. Like, are you guys ready for when Magic Johnson dies of cancer? Are you guys ready for that? Or you like open up the paper and they're like, Magic Johnson hit by a bus. You're like, what? You feel a little robbed. That's the wrong ending. That's not right. That's not. And what if you're driving that bus? What the fuck if you kill Magic Johnson? You broke the last streak, man. You killed the last unicorn. You better fucking head for Mexico because you'll never be forgiven. You might as well broke Brett Favre's arm or fucking Cal Ripken Jr.'s. Like that's you can't do that. That's like he's irreplaceable. Right? He's like Danny DeVito. We don't have another Danny DeVito waiting in the wings. All right, there's not like another charismatic half-midget just waiting. There's Peter Dinklage, but he's like full blown. That's totally different. That's not. Listen. Side note: why are mini horses so adorable, but midgets are so creepy? Why is that? That's not even unfair. The mini horses are amazing. Look, Peter Dinklage is the mini horse of midgets. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't even like to make those kind of jokes. That's not even fair. Okay. I am jaded. I am a broken person. I know they say that. They say you're supposed to dance like no one is watching, and love like you've never been hurt, and pick up a quarter off the ground like some punk fuck did and glue it down, and videotape you with his fucking phone to throw up on Instagram. That's some shit. I know I'm broken because the other day I was playing whack-a-mole trying to get one piece of joy out of life, and in my backswing I hit a kid in the face. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, it felt exactly as good as I thought it would. Another thing happened recently, I farted and triggered a kid's asthma. Yeah, that was awesome. Can't do this forever. Can't think like this. Can't do this job. Can't do comedy and think like this and then expect to return later to us. I'm not a fucking coal miner. I'm not getting black lung, but I mean, there's an effect. You know what I mean? This wears on you over time. You know, I can't even enjoy life anymore. I'm more like an observer than a participant. You know, a couple months ago, we did a comedy show at a strip club. It's called Giggles and Jiggles. That's not funny. That's not funny. That's just cheating puns. Oh, fuck them. And. But the other comic bought me a lap dance. I got a lap dance. And I'm not a lap dance guy. I'm not a strip club guy. But like the girl, we were in the lap dance room and I looked down and the girl had webbed toes. Yeah, and like you guys, what, is she still hot? I'm like, yeah, she was still hot. And I should have enjoyed that, but I couldn't. The whole time I was just like thinking, I was just like, man, what if you knock this girl up? It's a long shot, but there's a chance that kid will breathe underwater. Like, you need to go for it. I was like, what are you doing? Dude, this is a Fuckville, Florida. You think you're gonna stay together? You think that relationship's gonna last?
Break up, right? You got a custody battle. She's not gonna let Aquaman go without a fight. That's ridiculous.
Now you got a superhero you want to see on holidays and weekends at best. Maybe she gets in a fight, moves to Oklahoma to spite you, and you're like, it's landlocked. That kid can't breathe. Give him a chance. Right, that bit. It is sad. It is sad. That's what's great about strip clubs, though. I love the idea of strip clubs for people who can enjoy them. You know, people that watch pro wrestling and go to strip clubs, people who believe, you know, people who have faith. Those people, like just that war veteran who your head's in there, give some money to a girl on his way to the dog track. Like that's the guy I want to be. You know, I don't believe. I go in a strip club, I can't even fall for it. They got the black lights up on the ceiling to hide the bruises, and I'm like, no, that's, right? I got a friend, he's like, that girl's got a third nipple. I'm like, dude, cigarette burn all day. I see it. I see through it, you know? And it's better. What if the strippers don't believe? It's better if they believe. It's better. She dances better if she thinks she's only taking a semester off school. Right? Like if a girl thinks she's going to be a veterinarian, oh man, the dance is so much better. Right? She wants to believe. She could go home and Wikipedia stripper statistics of becoming veterinarians, 0. That's never happened. Next time you take your dog to the vet, see if their name is Dr. Heaven. Okay, it's not an accurate thing. No. I'm jaded. No, I'm broken. I feel like when some people talk about sociopaths, really they're just mistaking a sociopath for getting old. You know? Old people don't care about anything. You ever see old people cry? They don't cry. You know? They just take it. They just take everything. You know? It doesn't even affect them. You know? I feel like there are sociopaths everywhere. I feel like there's a good chance in this room we're entertaining a murderer right now. Like this is a solid number of people. Like there's a decent statistic. Somebody here killed someone, raped someone, got away with it. And now there's a lot of silence. You know, people think that's sociopaths make our society go around. Like that's like doctors. Those. You ever see a surgeon? You ever see a guy that can stand over someone, just slice them open, grab their heart, play God, and the hand doesn't even shake? That's fucking murder. Right? Like that's a serial killer we gave a scholarship to. That's all that is. Right? Yeah, let me tell you who's not a serial killer. Let me tell you who's not a sociopath. My primary care physician. Regular guy. Right? I go in for a physical, comes time for the prostate exam, I'm like, hey man, we gotta do that thing. He's like, no, I mean, not if you don't want to. Yeah. Doesn't want to be there any more than I do. Right? That's a regular person with feelings. That's a guy I can relate to. Alright? I don't know how I got through med school with that attitude. But he's my guy. Alright? Now when I go into surgery, do I want him? Fuck no. I want Hero Doctor. Okay, I want the guy who's at the bottom of the bottle on the weekends, his whole life is falling apart, his wife's fucking other guys, everything's in shambles because he's driven, because he's compelled, right? He's compelled to save lives. Oh, I touch another man's heart, that gets my cock hard one more time so I go home and fuck my trophy wife. That's the guy. I don't want a guy who's doing it for the money. I don't want a 28-year-old new kid that cries when his girlfriend breaks up with him. Not a lot of punchlines, but a lot of sense. No. Rapists everywhere. Everywhere. That's what they say. Most rapes are somebody you know. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's you, man. I'm not saying, look. And then I know you're like, no, he's a nice guy. Like when he chokes me, it's just pretend. No, it's for real. It feels a little dangerous, because it is. It's so dangerous. He's so close, right? And you're like, no, but like, he asked me out. And I was like, no, he was gonna rape you, and then he saw that you were into it, and he's like, I'm gonna play this one straight. Let's see if it works out. Let's just see if it works out, right? Are you registered, sir? Are you registered? No? No, that just means he's good. That just means he's real.
Out in this world. This is dangerous, man. And you guys are interacting too. Everybody's here. Like, you think
they're in regular. Look, anybody here work at a coffee shop? Anybody have a job? Yeah. You think you've never fucking served a fucking latte to a rapist? Huh? You helped him start his day. You gave him that extra bump. He's out there, fucking refreshed, ready to get back to it. Right? We've been buying Bill Cosby albums for years. That's how it is. We're all part of this. We're all culpable. You know how many meatball subs I've eaten for somebody? How much I've funded them? I've been paying into them for years. They don't even taste the same anymore. I can't even eat them the same. It's ridiculous. No, man. Crazy people. I feel like I'm gonna snap, you know? You guys like me? Are you guys like me when you ever see a workplace shooting? A guy goes into work and just shoots up the whole place, and your first emotion is just like complete, like that's sad, but then your second is like total jealousy. It's like, why him? Why not me? Oh, right? You don't want to shoot at work? You don't think that would feel? I know you gotta go to jail, but I mean, while it's happening, tell me it doesn't feel good. Right? Tell me it's not like a deep tissue massage, just working out. I bet you wake up the next day refreshed, ready to go into work. You go in there and they're like, hey, I'm ready to get fucking, let's do it. Right? And they're like, I'm not gonna say you're fired, but I mean, that's only because you killed everybody that could have fired you yesterday. Look, I want to kill people. I want to just mow you guys down right now, right? I do. I'm not saying I don't want to. I want to, right? But it's a balance. Like, I want to shoot all you guys, but I want to be part of society a little more. Yeah. I want to participate, you know? Like, I want to cheat on my girlfriend, but sometimes I want to cuddle. Every day is a battle. Some days are better than others. Good days have bad days. It's close, you know? Just snapping, man. I feel like I could be one of those guys. I could be a snap guy. I couldn't be like a serial killer. You know what I mean? I couldn't be one of those guys. Those guys, they get too deep, you know? I could go there for a minute, come back, go get some artists, you know? That's what I can do, you know? And people go like, but that's crazy. Those people, you're trying to make them one-dimensional. Serial killers, like, they're crazy, but they're functioning psychos, right? Like John Wayne Gacy, that was a clown. He was a professional clown. He entertained kids, you know what I mean? Like Dahmer, I mean, he was a chef. I don't know. He had some recipes that were a little exotic. Okay? And people go, that's crazy. You're going to eat somebody's brain? That's crazy. That's not crazy if that's who you are. That's just who you are. What's crazy is to eat someone's brain and then wake up tomorrow and eat a PB&J. Right? You're like, yeah, brain, then peanut butter and jelly. And then he has preferences, right? He's like, oh, I don't like crunchy. I don't like crunchy peanut butter. All right. Good. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Right. We have gay marriage. Let's switch topics. Gay marriage. We have gay marriage. Get up for that. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm not for it. That's great for you guys. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, this bear can't be caged. Woo! Yeah. I'm actually currently attending a Christian support group for homosexual rehabilitation. It's like gay rehab. I'm not gay, I just really like the idea of Christians gathering together and cheering on my quest for pussy. I was like, oh, if you guys got any leads, you know what I'm saying? Put the power of prayer to work, you know? Let's get Christian Mango, Christian Tinder, you know? I'd bang it, dude, I would. I mean, if I could. I can't. I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. That's what they say, right? I can't. People go, oh, it's a choice. It's not a choice. I would totally do it if it was a choice. All right? That's fucking. If I could double my odds of blowjobs just by adding some talent to the pool, are you serious? And you tell, oh, there's like 50 people outside who want to blow you right now, but you can't accept that. And fuck that. That sounds like a gypsy curse. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Turn it down. Extra love. Happiness. No, it's not. I can't suck a dick. Because I'm a textural eater. I can't. I'm limited. I can't eat asparagus. I can't eat asparagus or green beans. And I can't suck a dick. Alright, that's who I am. In a nutshell, in a person. That's like I could probably, if I had, like I could jerk a dude off. Like if I had to, I could probably jerk a dude off. You know, I could wear a glove, just pop in some earbuds, put on some Bob Seger night moves. You know what I'm saying? This is not happening. Just go to your happy place, right? Just go to your happy place. You're in the meadow with the butterflies. You're in the meadow with the butterflies. Alright? You know what's even worse is when people make it sound like a joke. They go like, what about for $1 million? Would you suck a dick then? You always have that friend, right? What if for $1 million? And you're like, dude, no. Like, and he's like, what about for $2 million? Would you take in the butt? I was like, dude, you got it backwards, man. Butt's cheaper. I don't even know what's going on down there half the time. I can't even see that. I can take a punch in the butt. I don't even give a shit. That's like, this is my face, man. This is where I live. Right? Like, this is where all your senses are, your smell, your taste, right? This is all right. If you have a soul, like, dude, I can't have a penis on my soul. Like, there's no, I can't put it on top, like, right in, oh, man, right? Like, you know when you go to the doctor, like, you know, even when he gives you that prostate exam, he's like, all right, you gotta do the thing, put your finger in your butt, and you're like, I mean, this sucks, but whatever, right? The doctor never puts his finger in your mouth. Like, it's a little compress, right? And he's like, just, what's up, guy? Oh, that's personal, man. That's, you can't, don't even get, oh, jeez. I don't know, man. What's weird is I was homophobic. Like, I used to be homophobic back in, like, the 90s and stuff. And it was like a 90s thing, bro. It was, I don't know. I'm just saying. I had that thing. Like, you know what I mean? I had that, like, that just, like, I mean, I still got it, but it's just tempered, you know what I mean? Like, but originally I thought it was moral. You'd be like, that's immoral because I feel like, ooh, I get a gag reflex, right? And everything. No, but then later, I realized I had the exact same feeling the first time I saw a guy put mayo on his french fries. You know? Oh, God. Oh, my God. That mayo is immoral. Yeah. Speaking of the food, man, that's the Chick-fil-A thing, man. I'm still... Who's eating the Chick-fil-A? We back on that yet? Come on, don't lie. Don't lie. You eating that shit. You are eating it, right? Fuck yeah, you are. Right? It's not even there. It's the owner, dude. It's not... You think they even know those little fucking... You ever go to the drive-thru and you see the people that work there, like these little Disney Channel robot fucks they've programmed? What are these people? What these kids that they captured and fucking made into like little Stepford wife fucks. Oh my god. I don't like people getting churchy with my food. I don't care if it's a robot or not. Right? I don't care. Like just a 16-year-old kid handing me chicken through a tiny window being like, here's your large holy water. Fucking bless your chicken. Don't bless me. You're 16. I don't want these 16-year-olds to fucking grow up. Have some life. Then talk to me about it. You know what I mean? And they just throw it on you. Like, bless your food and just ask me. You know? You asked me if I wanted sauce. Right? You were like, have a saucy day, motherfucker! Polynesian! I don't like it, man. I'm doing this thing where I turn the tables on them now. What I do is I order my food inside, and when the girl hands me it across the counter, I just grab her hand, and then I make her say grace. I go, we thank the Lord for this bounty. Praise be to Allah. They don't like it. That's pretty funny. You guys hanging in there? I feel it's heading down. I feel like I know where you guys are at. All right, don't think I don't know. All right, you guys are all right because you're on a couch. This motherfucker's sitting in chairs. Why don't you go for the couch? The couch is great. Right? You guys could have been fucking or something. It's pretty dope, man. It's pretty sweet. I don't know, man. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm doing okay though. I mean, not financially. I mean, that's pretty apparent. You guys can see that. That's right. Ooh, man. Times are getting tough. Right? I think my dog just figured out that I'm poor. Right? I got my. You ever your dog just walking? He's just walking around like the apartment, like just looking at stuff. Better than this guy. I don't know, man. That's what's great about a dog. You know what's great about a dog? Like, I can't get like a fan. I can't get a hot girl. You know? Like I'm like a 4 at best. I mean, I'm really like a 9, but that's because my personality is fucking amazing. Okay? But I'm gonna just to relate to you guys, I'm a 4. You know what I mean? So, like I'm a 4. You know what I mean? So I can't get like but I can get a fancy fucking dog. All right? I can save up. I'll buy some fancy Westminster rich bitch. You know what I mean? Certified with papers. Right? Bring her home. Put her in my fucking apartment. That's right. Take you down a notch, bitch. You can eat regular ass dog chow. I don't know how they do it over in Westminster. You're just a white trash shih tzu now. Isn't it great to take like a spoiled girl and just take her down a peg? You know what I mean? Is that okay? I felt that. Right? Don't think I'm not saying that you guys are spoiled. You're all matched up. If you're matched up in a couple, then you're balanced. You're matched up. People go, oh, this person's out of nobody's out of anybody's league. All right? If you're with that person, you guys locked up. You figured it out. You know what I mean? One person's better looking, other person's got something else. You know what I mean? I'll date a girl, people go like, oh, why? They'll tell her, I'll be like, why you gotta date him? And she'll be like, because I fart in my sleep. Yeah, I got a loose anus. That's my problem. And I can't read, okay? I can't read. So I gotta date this guy. You know what I mean? That's it. It's all balance, right? Mel Gibson, that's a good-looking guy. That's a great-looking, famous guy, right? You date him, you'd be like, oh, this is great. But then he gets drunk, turns into like a Jew-hating werewolf. It's all balance. It's all a trade-off. You gotta know, right? You got a girl snores in her sleep, deviated septum. That's my thing. I love that shit. Right? I'll get a hot girl with one leg. Yes. Bam. One leg and retarded? Oh, shit. Just climbing up the ladder. And I'm actually great. Like I said, I'm great. You know what I mean? You know what's even worse? Let me tell you what's worse. You ever see two hot people together and they're pretending it's more than that? You ever see those people and they're just like, no, we have like a lot in common. You know, we have common interests. Like, I'm hot and he's hot, right? Like, he has money, I like that he has money. You know? Fuck those people, man. Right? Because their personality is a part of it, right? You know, anybody here go to the gym? You know what you never see anybody at the gym doing? People working out at the gym. You never see anybody at the gym working on their personality. You know, you never see anybody at the gym just on the sense of humor machine, just fucking putting in the reps. I gotta get it up to speed. Oh man, more people. Oh. I have a girlfriend. Just accept that. And I don't mean like in my basement. I mean I date her. Like she's for real. You know, she's awesome. She's the best. She lets me put my penis in her and everything. Seriously, no, she's a real cool dude. She's a bro, man. She's one of the good ones. Yeah. 10 years successful relationship, and it's like, that's what she calls it. It's more like an unsuccessful one-night stand. It just got out of hand. She hung in there, you know what I mean? You gotta give it to her, right? It's getting weird though, because like the romance is fading. That's what she says. She's like, it's fading. Like, the romance is fading. Like, why can't you be like the person you were when we first met? And I was like, 'cause that was a fictional character I made up. That's not a real person. It was like Spider-Man. That's not real. So, she said, but you used to do stuff. You used to cuddle with me for hours. You used to go on my shoulders. You used to make me breakfast. What happened to that? And I was like, that was an introductory offer. That's expired. And that's for new customers. That's not for everybody. That's available for a limited time. Right? You know what's crazy is like she acts like she doesn't give me the same time-sensitive offers, like this limited availability, right? Like on your birthday, you ever have that? You know, on your birthday, and she's like, "Happy birthday! 24 hours. You can put it in my butt." You're like, "You cheap bitch! You better buy me something from a store. I don't want your homemade gifts." You don't think I wish I could take in the butt 1 month when I'm on a tight budget and rent's due? When I don't have some money, right? When I'm a little down, right? I'm like, yeah, hey Jake, man, I said I'd get the next round of beers. Go ahead and get up in there. No. Deal's a deal. Deal's a deal. No, hey, top shelf, man. Go ahead and get what you want, man. Be gentle. Coupon for a free blowjob. Some cheap shit, right? Some girls do that shit. My girlfriend does that. My girlfriend is she's a little weird. She's like going through this. She has this. Do you guys have sexual fetish? Anybody here got a fetish? My girl has like the weirdest sexual fetish. Like I mean, look, it's a little gross. Like it's like she wants like a baby to come out of her vagina and into the world. Oh God. Oh, gee. I told her, I was like, I'm not into that kinky shit. That's funny. That's gross. She just gave me that baby ultimatum. You ever have one of those? Oh my God, that's an uncomfortable. Right? One time she was like, she just goes, like, you don't have to wear a condom. I trust you. And I was like, well, now I don't trust you. That's not fair. Birth control is important, man. I can't have it. She's like, what are you gonna do if I do get pregnant? I was like, I'll probably kill myself. And she's like, what? That's not fair. And I was like, hey, your body, your choice. My body, my choice. I'm out. Okay? I respect your right to choose. You gotta respect mine. I get scared because I see all the crazy, custody battles and things and babies' mamas and child support, right? And I'll tell you one thing, I don't think you should be able to go away and then show up later with a kid, right? That's fucked, right? You see those TV shows like Mari and shit, right? All that stuff, you know what I mean? Those baby, like, yeah, you show up with like a fucking later with like a used kid. Like 8 years old, a kid plays violin. I never touched a fucking violin. I don't know, he speaks Portuguese. What the fuck is this kid doing? That's not my kid, man. You can't use up my kid time and then charge me later. Fuck that. You know what I'm gonna do? This is how I get out of that shit. If I get her pregnant, I'm gonna use some dummy semen. So I'm gonna borrow like a buddy's stuff. I'm gonna get some other person. I'm just gonna throw it in there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull out and I'm gonna like toss. You know what I mean? Just get it in there, right? Because you see those TV shows and the lady, she's like, ha ha, 18 years, this wasn't even your fucking kid, motherfucker, right? And then it's like, yo, that never happens to women. I'm gonna do that shit. We're gonna be on TV, the fucking test is gonna come back. Look, you hear ladies groaning in here? They're like, they can't even imagine, right? Because they're like, they didn't even fuck anybody else. It's gonna be like some miracle shit. It'll drop, their brain will crack, dude. They'll fracture. They'll be on TV, they'll be like, boom, Nadia's kid. I'll be like, Shazam. It's David Copperfield in here. Nobody will ever know. You never tell them the secret. That's dummy semen, man. I'm telling you. That's now, I'll bear with you ladies. Like, I do understand your plight. You guys have a different experience. Like, I heard a lot of groans on that one, but you have you have the only situation where people get to put like ingredients and chemicals in your body, right? Like they just leave, that's in you now. That's weird, right? You like go on a vacation, you're in a log cabin or some shit in the mountains, and some guy forgets to pull out, and now it's like just a race against the clock. You gotta get to a CVS. Right? It's uncomfortable. It's weird. It's like those movies I'm watching, like Indiana Jones or James Bond. You ever see that scene with a villain and he's just like, he's like, Mr. Bond, that martini was poisoned. Now you gotta find the antidote. Plan B. It's Plan B. Plan B. Which, let's get that out of the way. Plan B highly underestimated their product. That's Plan A. We all know that, right? Like everything else now is Plan B. Like me pulling out is way Plan B. Right? Plan A, right on top of it. Birth control's great. I don't know. Let me get out of here soon. I didn't start my timer. How much time have I done? Anybody know? This lady's almost done. She's out of it, man. She don't give a fuck about comedy. She's like, I'm gonna go home, let this guy get on top of me, do his thing, and I'm gonna time out. I'm gonna watch an episode of Narcos. It's a good show. You should watch that show. I haven't watched it yet, but my girlfriend, she said she's watching it, and then I'm watching it to keep her distracted from wanting babies, because I can't let my girl. That's how strong the baby shit is. By the way, before I change topics or anything, like I can't even watch movies with babies in the movies. Like if there's too much baby content, I gotta screen all the movies before we watch them. Right? It's unbelievable, right? Like seriously, it's that much movie empathy. We see babies in the whole next week. Now I've been renting I've been going to the Red Box and renting like Children of the Corn and The Omen. You know what I mean? I gotta like wean her off of it. I'm like, Chucky, you want to fucking get your throat slit by a fucking doll? You want that? Gotta keep it. Or just take her to the thrift store and show her like moms with 4 kids. It'll slow you down, right? You're just walking around, your mom trying to find shoes. Oh, man. Yeah. You know what's even crazy is like, I forgot, I didn't realize, I was stupid. You know when you get a dog? You guys know that's a trick when a girl makes you get a dog with her? That's gateway baby. Dog's a gateway baby, right? It's a setup, that's what it is, right? She's like, let's see what kind of father you would be. Yeah. And that puts me in a way awkward position, because like, I love animals, but I don't want to have kids, so now I gotta treat this guy like shit. Like whenever she's in the other room and I know she can like slightly overhear, I'm just like, what are you gonna be? You're gonna be nothing. You're never gonna amount to nothing. You got no skills, you can't read. You can't read, man. How are you gonna get into a good school? You were adopted. I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy. It's okay, man. My girlfriend thinks I cheat on her. I don't. Let's get that out of the way. But she thinks it because she's crazy. And I don't want to be one of those comedians that's like, women are crazy, but you're so fucking crazy. Like, you guys are super quiet right now. My girlfriend, like, she thinks I'm cheating on her, but I'm not cheating on her, which makes me think that she's cheating on me, so now I gotta go out and cheat on her and make it right. These relationships are about balance. And keep it together. It's crazy. My girlfriend's nuts. She stalks me online. She's on Facebook. This is like unbelievable. Like my girlfriend let me tell you how good she is at stalking. She will find new exes that I don't even know. Like she finds girls I even forgot about. She's like, what about Julie? And I was like, I thought Julie was dead. How's Julie doing? She look good? She still got my copy of Royal Tenenbaums? This doesn't have a punchline, but this is how good she is. Like, I had to up my game, right? My girlfriend was stalking an ex-girlfriend of mine, and then my ex-girlfriend blocked her. And she went fucking ballistic, right? She was like, did you tell her to block me? You told her. You were talking to her. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about?
And the truth is, my ex-girlfriend did not block her. What actually happened was my current girlfriend left her Facebook logged in. I went into her privacy settings and blocked them. I take a lot of pride in that. Yeah, you can applause break that. There ain't no punchline, there ain't no joke. But I was like, this is wizard shit right here. Okay? Me and the dummy scene, that's where I got that shit. I'm pulling tricks, man. What's crazy is I want you to show you how crazy my girlfriend is that I got catfished by her. You guys know what catfishing is?
Like that Manti Te'o thing with the fake girl. So did you guys know you could get catfished inside a relationship? Yeah, you could, like, I'll be on Facebook. My girlfriend will go online and make a fake profile of a hot girl, and then she'll message me to see if I take the bait. Yeah, that's good, right? Yeah, and I'll fall for it because she's really good at it. She just be like, she knows exactly. She's just, hey, I'm hot, and my name's Tiffany. You know, I'm just looking for a guy who's like fat and loves stand-up comedy. You know, like, are you that guy? Like, do you like to like masturbate on the couch while just watching reruns of Breaking Bad and eating potato chips on your chest? Like, that's the kind of guy I'm looking for. Are you that guy? I was like, I am so that guy. I couldn't more be that guy. And she's like, I got you. I caught you. You were gonna have sex with that girl. I was like, everybody was having sex with that girl. That's the best girl. You're supposed to be that girl. That's my soulmate. Why would you stand between me and my soulmate? I need to be with her. It feels like I made that up, but I did not make that up. That is true. That is true. One time I was telling that story, and I was in a black room, an urban room, which is a black room. You guys get it. Yes. In comedy, they make us say urban room, so it's not right. It's a black room. And I was telling that story, and black women are, I don't know if you know this, fucking nuts. Like, yeah, no, I mean, they're not in a positive way. Like, they're raising the expertise of nuts, you know, like through the roof. And I was doing that joke, and after the show, I was outside, and a black lady comes up to me, and there's a bunch of other guys around her, and she goes, yeah, that's why you just don't eat any woman's spaghetti sauce. What the fuck does that mean? You make really good spaghetti sauce? What? And she was like, I was like, are you talking about like period? Like sex or something? And she's like, no, I'm talking about spaghetti sauce. And I was like, what? She's like, well, I'm talking about both. And I was like, what are you fucking talking about? And she goes, you don't eat crazy women spaghetti sauce because women will cook up you some spaghetti for dinner and then they'll take a little bit of the period blood and put it in that sauce. Like some voodoo. And they're like, now you eat that sauce and you can't leave her. There's like a curse on you. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. I mean, of course, I went to immediately rethinking my relationship. I was like, we've been together 10 years. Do I really love this girl? Did she put some voodoo spaghetti curse on me? Like, I don't know what's up from down anymore. I don't even eat, listen, spaghetti, my favorite meal. I don't even eat it anymore. I mean, not with sauce. I go to Carrabba's, I'm like, dry. I like it dry. No marinara. How about Alfredo? I don't need no gay dude putting no jizz curse on me. White sauce, that ain't for everybody. All right, guys, thank you very much. That was my time. I had a great time talking.
That was Chris Buck, everyone. Give it up. That was our Comedy Planet show. We do this every first Saturday. How do you guys feel? Well, thank you guys for coming out. And how did I say?
You know what? 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 You know It's roots, man, roots. You know what? 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 You know what?